everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I am doing vlogmas this month where I upload a video every single day up until Christmas, and this week is going to be hearing loss week. I know a ton of you guys love my videos that center around this, and I really wanted to make more content for you guys. So every single day this week is going to be a hearing loss centered video, and we're going to start it off with a bang. I've kind of been nervous to do this video for a while because I didn't want to call the school out by name, but I feel much more confident to give you guys all of the tea, and that is what I'm going to do here today. Without further ado, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and let's get started. We're going to go backwards in time to when I was doing college tours. I saw a lot of colleges. I applied to over 19 and it was insane. I was insane. And every single school I would visit, I would go visit their disability offices and find out about accommodations for hearing loss. And I thought it would be really hard at first, but I started visiting all of these colleges and all of these offices were very, very good. And after a while, I was like, wow, like everybody in the US has this sorted out. I visited Miami of Ohio. They have a great disability offices. Obviously High Point, where I go now, absolutely amazing. I visited so many more schools in Ohio. I visited just so many schools in Michigan, and they were all great. So then I get my acceptance letter from Fordham University, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, all these famous people went to Fordham. Fordham is such a good school. Like, this is where I'm going. And for those of you that don't know much about Fordham, it's in New York. So the campus that I got into was the main one, the Rose Hill campus in the Bronx of New York. And it's a really, really reputable school. It's not like super hard to get into, but I think the acceptance rate is like 40%. So it's like pretty competitive, and it just seems like a great school. And so I really was so interested, and I was also visiting the new school and NYU. So we went to New York my senior year of high school, and we went to Fordham, and I loved the campus. I thought the campus was honestly great. I was seeing like different forum pages. People were saying that the meal plan sucked at Fordham because there were literal cockroaches in the food. It looked absolutely disgusting. People were like, oh my gosh, I did not gain weight in college. I lost so much weight because the Fordham food is absolutely disgusting. They use like Sodexo, which is honestly kind of crazy to me because tuition is ridiculous. It's like $72,000 a year, and that was when I checked like 2 years ago. So I love the tour. The campus is very old, but I really liked that feel, and I was like, wow, this could be a really great place to go to college. Of course, I heard the meal plan sucked, but I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just like have ramen noodles all the time. So to check it off the list, I wanted to visit the accessibility office, and I was told that it was in a house off campus. First red flag. And we go to the accessibility offices, and it's like this little house off campus, and it's not on the first floor. It's looks like a destroyed, torn down building, and you have to go up this narrow set of stairs to this little room on the second floor. And my first thought was, wow, this is really odd. Like, if I was in a wheelchair, I wouldn't be able to get up the stairs. How is that an accessible office? Because they deal with all sorts of disabilities, not just hearing loss. So I was like, that's pretty weird. So I go and I visit the lady, and she basically tells me how the Fordham accessibility offices absolutely sucks, and they give her no funding, and she'd been asking for funding, and basically I would have to commit to going to Fordham before we can even kind of discuss what accommodations I would have, and even then she wouldn't be able to guarantee that I would have any. That is a terrible response, terrible answer to give any prospective student. That's just, first of all, rude, second of all, illegal. Like, it's just a terrible response. I'm just like, this is so weird. I'm just sitting there and I don't know what to think because I thought I had fallen in love with this campus, but obviously I can't go to the school if they don't like disabled people. She was like, yeah, the funding sucks, blah, 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 blah. So my parents, being my parents, started to get pretty angry. So we walked away from the house and we went to their main admissions office, and we talked to the dean, and we told her, hey, this is ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. And the dean, she was like, I don't really know anything about that office, which is really strange because that should be, like, that's her job. She should know about the office. So she sent us to this, like, other guy who was above the office, and we go and talk to him, and he basically gives us more of a bullshit answer about how the funding sucks and they don't have money to support the office. The tuition is like at least $72,000 a year. This guy literally sat there and told us that they have no money to allocate to that when the tuition is literally $72,000 a year. Let me just check that to make sure that's right. Oh, I'm wrong. Tuition is $74,265 as of 2019, so it's probably more expensive then. That's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for school, and they were telling us that they don't have money to allocate for that. So this guy was sitting here and telling us that they didn't have any money to allocate to the offices, which is just plain out ridiculous because I had visited so many schools at this point. I know the gig, I know how it goes. It was just complete bullshit. And then he goes, this is the kicker, he goes, oh, well, less than 2% of our students are disabled or are in wheelchairs, so we really just don't care about allocating the money. That's just what it is. So this guy, this dean at Fordham University, told me that he didn't care about disabled people, and that's why the whole program was absolute bullshit. He was like, we had one student in a wheelchair and they couldn't access the office because it was in a destroyed building out of campus and they couldn't get up the rickety stairs, so we just had them come here, but like we don't really do anything. We can't guarantee that you can get any accommodations. And then this guy tried to tell us, he's like, oh well, our professors like don't really like to accommodate for people with disabilities because it's annoying to them and it's like an extra step that they have to do, and our professors aren't really accommodating to that because it's annoying to them and they don't like it, so that's why we can't guarantee that you're gonna have the services that you need to do well, and only less than 2% of our students actually are disabled, so we don't really care and we're not gonna allocate those funds. Yeah, I decided right then and there that I'm not going to go absolutely broke to go to Fordham because Fordham sucks. And if you've been keeping up with Fordham within the last year or so, I don't need to tell you, but Fordham sucks even more, and I'm really glad I did not go there because out of all 21 universities that I applied to, it probably would have been my last choice because they suck. If anybody from Fordham sees this video, like, you suck. So that is my worst experience at the university. Pretty self-explanatory. This video really wasn't that long because there's not much to say. It was just very appalling, and I obviously didn't really have this attitude back then because back then I was like, oh my gosh, Fordham is such a great school, like I would love to go here. And then when this guy told me that he doesn't care about disabled people, I was like actually crying. Like I was really sad about this, but now I'm just like, well, fuck you. Definitely not normal. It's not normal at all. If you ever go to a university and they tell you that, tell them to fuck off and go somewhere else. Another thing that was really weird about this interaction is that this guy told me that, you know, I actually should come to Fordham because if I go to Fordham then I can like basically build the program from the ground up, but I just don't have that kind of time to do so. Like if I went there I would have been so busy with all my schoolwork and extracurriculars and all that sort of stuff. Like I don't have time to build up a program and do research and tell them what to buy and tell them how to run their program. As an 18-year-old student that's figuring out life and going to college for the first time, like it's absolutely ridiculous. Whew, I got angry. Okay. It's okay. That was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!